The most effective people on the planet work less than average performers. They just do 4 things that completely break the rules you've been taught. I spent a couple of months studying this people: billionaire founders, Olympic athletes, Nobel Prize winners, people who seem to bend reality. They all follow the same playbook, and it's the opposite of everything you think you know about success. Once you see this, you can't unsee it, and you'll understand why most people stay stuck despite working themselves to death. You know what's crazy? The most successful people all do this one weird thing. They deliberately make other people win bigger than them. Not equal, not balanced, bigger. And they do it first before asking for anything. Take Bob Chapman, CEO of Barry Wehmiller. His company was struggling during the 2008 recession. Instead of layoffs like every other CEO, he implemented mandatory unpaid leave for everyone, including himself. Every employee kept their job but took 4 weeks unpaid time off. The result? His employees became so loyal that they started innovating like crazy. The company didn't just survive, they grew by 20% during the recession while competitors collapsed. His employees literally started refusing job offers from companies offering double the salary. Or look at what happened with the founders of Airbnb. When they were broke and unknown, they gave their first hosts professional photography for free, didn't charge them, didn't take a cut, just showed up with a photographer. Those hosts made 40% more money with better photos. But here's what happened next. Those same hosts became Airbnb's biggest supporters. They recruited other hosts. They defended Airbnb online. They basically built Airbnb's supply side for free. Today, those original hosts are millionaires from their Airbnb earnings. Why does this work? It triggers something called psychological debt. Brain scans show the same regions activate as physical pain when people feel they owe someone. They literally can't rest until they pay you back. It's not strategy, it's biology. A study from Wharton tracks salespeople who started client relationships by giving valuable insights for free versus those who pitched immediately. The Give First group didn't just perform better, they earned 68% more over 2 years. Not because they were better salespeople, because their clients felt obligated to reciprocate with bigger contracts, more referrals, longer relationships. Here's how to use this. In any interaction, ask, what cost me almost nothing but would be huge for them? Maybe it's a connection, maybe it's knowledge you already have, maybe it's taking the annoying task they hate. Give that first. Not after, not during, first. The accountant who sends tax-saving tips year-round instead of just during tax season, clients pay them triple. The developer who fixes a critical bug before discussing their rate gets hired at premium prices. But making others win first is just the beginning. The next thing effective people do is even more counterintuitive. They actively reject success. Let me explain why saying yes is killing your potential. Warren Buffett has this exercise where you list 25 goals, circle your top 5, then avoid the other 20 like they're poison. Everyone thinks he's exaggerating. He's not. Those 20 good goals are murdering your 5 great ones. Derek Sivers, who sold his company for $22 million, has a rule. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. He tracks what happened when he started saying no to good opportunities. His income went up 12 times in 18 months. Not because he worked harder, because he stopped diluting his excellence. Think about it. Every yes has a hidden tax. That side project that's good experience, it's stealing mental energy from your main thing. That networking event with important people, it's taking the evening you'd use to master your craft. That collaboration that's great exposure, it's fragmenting your focus into pieces too small to matter. Research from Stanford shows that people who juggle multiple projects are 40% less productive than those who focus on one thing. But here's the crazy part. The multitaskers feel more productive. They mistake being busy for being effective. They're playing with toy hammers while focused people are swinging sledgehammers. Look at what happened with Instagram. When Facebook offered to buy them, they only had 13 employees. 13! Their competitors had hundreds. But Instagram said no to everything except making photo sharing stupidly simple. No video at first. No messaging at first. No photo editing beyond filters. Just photos, shared simply. They sold for $1 billion because they said no to good features to protect one great feature. Or take In-N-Out Burger. They've had the same menu since 1948. Every consultant tells them to add breakfast, add chicken, add salads. They say no. They do burgers, fries, and shakes. That's it. Result? They have the highest revenue per store of any fast food chain. Higher than McDonald's. Higher than everyone. Because when you only do 3 things, you can do them at a level that nobody who does 30 things can match. The most successful people aren't doing more, they're doing less, but at a level that nobody else can touch because they're not distracted by good opportunities. Your capacity for excellence is limited. Every good thing you say yes to murders an excellent thing. Here's the test. If your whole body doesn't scream yes, say no. If you have to convince yourself, it's a no. The things that matter are obvious. Everything else is noise. Now you know what to say no to. But here's the thing. Even if you focus on the right things, you're probably doing them at the wrong time. Your brain has a secret that changes everything. Your brain literally becomes a different organ throughout the day. There are windows where you're basically Bradley Cooper in Limitless, and windows where you have the mental capacity of someone who hasn't slept for 3 days. Most people randomly distribute their work across these windows. It's insane. Scientists call them ultradian rhythms, 90-minute cycles where your brain alternates between high and low performance. But here's what nobody tells you. These cycles are unique to you. Your peak might be someone else's valley. A study tracked programmers' productivity by time of day. The difference between their peak and trough hours? 500%. Same people, same skills, same tasks. 5 times more productive just by timing it right. Not working harder, just working when their brain actually worked. Look at famous writers. Maya Angelou wrote from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., then stopped completely. Even mid-sentence. Stephen King writes from 8 a.m. to noon, then nothing. Haruki Murakami, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. They discovered their biological prime time and defended it like their life depended on it. Daniel Pink studied this across professions. Surgeons make 4 times more errors during their biological trough times. Even judges, when supposedly rational, almost give harsher sentences during their low-energy periods. Same crime, different time, different outcome. Here's how to find your prime time. For 1 week, rate your mental energy every 2 hours on a 1 to 10 scale. Don't change anything, just observe. You'll find 2 to 3 hours where you consistently score 8 or higher. That's your biological prime time. That's when your brain is literally a different machine. Now here's what separates effective people from everyone else. They treat this time like a medical emergency. No meetings during prime time, no email, no quick questions, no administrative garbage. This is when you do the one thing that actually moves the needle. A study of Fortune 500 CEOs found that the most successful ones all had untouchable hours. Not because they were difficult, because they understood that 2 hours of primetime work equals 8 hours of regular work. It's not motivation, it's not discipline, it's biology. The average person checks email at 9 a.m. when their brain is firing, then does important work at 3 p.m. when their brain is mush. They're trying to sprint in quicksand. Meanwhile, effective people do the opposite. Important work during peak hours, mindless tasks during the trough hours. Same energy, triple the output. So you've found your peak hours, but most people still fail because they're trying to be good at too many things. The truth is, the most successful people in the world are actually terrible at almost everything on purpose. This is the one that breaks people's brains. The most effective people are actively bad at most things, on purpose. They're not well-rounded. They're sharp in one place and dull everywhere else. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Albert Einstein had 5 identical suits. Mark Zuckerberg eats the same lunch. Were they lazy? No, they were selective perfectionists. They understood something most people don't. Excellence is a zero-sum game. Research from London School of Economics found something shocking. General perfectionists, the people who try to be good at everything, performed worse than people with no standards at all. But selective perfectionists, people who were obsessive about 1 or 2 things while accepting mediocrity elsewhere, outperformed everyone by 300%. Or Serena Williams, greatest tennis player ever. But here's the thing, she's totally average at other sports, and that's exactly the point. There's videos of her playing golf or soccer just for fun, and she's just like anyone else having a laugh, because every hour she spent mastering that serve was an hour she chose not to spend on other sports. That's not a limitation, that's focus. That's what 23 Grand Slams looks like. Here's the math nobody wants to admit. You have roughly 100 units of excellence to distribute in your life. You can spread them evenly and be decent at everything, the classic B+ student at life. Or you can put 80 units into 1 or 2 things and be unstoppable at those while being a D student at everything else. The highest paid copywriter in the world, Gary Halbert, couldn't use a computer. Wasn't good with computers. Literally couldn't turn one on. He hand-wrote everything. His assistant typed it. He made millions writing sales letters while being technologically incompetent. Because the hours other copywriters spent learning software, he spent studying human psychology. Pick 2 things. Maybe it's coding and communication, maybe it's design and empathy, maybe it's sales and systems. Whatever drives disproportionate results in your field, be savage about perfecting those. Everything else? Aim for 40% and call it a day. Your room can be messy. Your emails can have typos. You can be completely incompetent at things that don't matter, because selective excellence beats general competence every single time. Let's recap everything. Make others win bigger first. It triggers psychological debt that pays compound interest forever. Say no to good opportunities. They're the silent assassins of great ones. Work with your brain's secret schedule. 2 peak hours are worth 8 average ones. Be terrible at almost everything. Selective excellence beats general competence. But here's the problem. These principles need daily habits to actually work. Watch my last video, 8 habits that easily made me exceptional. It shows exactly how to make this your default operating system.